Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flick Show. My name is Chris Wong. It's been a pretty interesting 2 days. Learned a number of new things. But first, let's start with DC Films Hub. They did a podcast, episode 15, with Mr. Ben and Sir John Aaron Garza. Of course, now when you listen to the video, you can now call him Aaron RBK. And then a little bit of teasing Daniel RBK, who's a scooper. So he's found out some things, and it's mostly about something in the past, something about what transpired from the starting of the Zack Snyder universe, and the person with the certain, cap got involved in the timeline and just putting the pieces and the puzzles together and stuff that he's learned about that and how it changed till now, all the way up to the impending doom that is Justice League. Not everyone does not like Justice League. I have a few friends who do like Justice League, and that's fine. It's a live action animated movie, but it does not complete this Justice League. That does not complete the Snyder trilogy or his arc per se, and that is unfortunate. So it's kind of a sad article after you start reading and you're like, oh man, I really wish I was in that Earth, whatever, Earth 2 or whatever that Earth is, to see everything come through. Rick Famuyiwa's Flash, the original Suicide Squad, the Batman, and all these things that could have, should have, would have happened if, a certain person wasn't involved. And ultimately, I think Warner Brothers' decision altogether. But if they had gone through with it, I think it would have been pretty crazy and dramatic. And I mean that really, because I had a friend who went on vacation and took care of some of his Canadian friends. He originally thought this whole Snyder Cut thing was like fake news. He's totally like, he didn't believe in it. He's like, that movie what we saw was what was supposed to happen. And I'm like, no, but he didn't believe it until he met his Canadian friends, and they told him of a certain Canadian VFX artist who actually worked on the ending of the original Zack Snyder Justice League. That's right, the ending, which involves a certain Scarlet Speedster going through time because of some tragic moment during that ending. And that is something, I won't detail it, I won't tell you in detail, but you can probably figure it out, and a lot of people, all that rumors, some of them were actually true. And I've got my own people who've emailed me from before all this that have told me that. And my friend telling me that actually confirms that email. So I'm really impressed and happy that he now believes in it. And he said it was awesome. He said the things that he've heard from that VFX artist and how it's supposed to happen, that would have been way better than what we got. And I already knew that, but it's great to hear that from a non-believer and who is now a believer. But he still thinks it's gone because apparently the VFX artist was ordered to delete those scenes and whatever they were working on when Joss Whedon came in, when Jeff Johns hired Joss Whedon, and they came in and said none of that is true. They're remaking it, but unfortunately they didn't have enough time to really rework all the CGI and what they've done before in that span of 6 months, and so that was unfortunate. But it's great that those VFX artists believe that what they were working on was greater than what came on screen, and that is unfortunate. I mean, I kind of knew that, and I've sent that what happens to in the end of Justice League to several people I trust and know, and so. But I don't want to share it just in case it actually does come out, and that would be great if we can actually see it on screen. But in the time being, just know that a lot more people are coming to terms with that, and a lot of people more who didn't believe it now kind of believe it, and I think that is great. I think that awareness is working very, very well, and I hope more people who don't believe it. Even though he said a Snyder Cut doesn't exist, I think he now understands that it does exist. And to the point that there was a VFX artist working on, and the point that there was an actual different ending and a whole different storyline. is confirmation that it does exist, or it has existed. It's just not readily available at that artist's hard drive per se, or that company's hard drive. So, but in any case, we're still trying to figure out what's going on, right? And then there was some things going on today where a certain somebody, if I can find it now, I know Film Junkie kind of retweeted, because Film Junkie knows some stuff. I know he knows. He knows what the beginning of the film was. He's hinted before, and I know he knows. And he's got his own sources too. He's starting to become kind of like a source guy, like a scooper guy himself. And there was a person, Andrew Dice, who did something today. He had a GIF of the Batman warehouse scene, and he said hashtag stay tuned. Who is Andrew Dice? He's the editor for Screen Rant, so he knows something. And it seems like even Dave Film Junkie knows something, because someone asked him, why aren't you talking about the Snyder Cut anymore? And he kind of replied that there is something going on. But now I don't want you to go bombarding him. Well, maybe he wants to be bombarded. Who knows? But he does know something, and hopefully we all get to know what that is pretty soon. So I'm really looking forward to it. In the meantime, it's been pretty quiet, right? It's been pretty quiet. Zack Snyder did do his usual Throwback Thursday, and it's an interesting one. It's his Throwback Thursday 2. No Retreat, No Surrender. There you go. That is from 300, where they were all under those shields, and so that is a behind-the-scenes look on that. So no big deal. It's 300. A few hours later, he actually put up a screen, a video of him watching in his new office test screening a movie, and that movie is Star Wars. Yeah, so because he's a huge fan of Star Wars, right? And so you're expecting he's a new fan of Star Wars, so he's probably gonna put up something that he really likes. And interestingly, it's a New Hope, a New Hope. New Hope. No Retreat, No Surrender. Huh. Well, that's just no, it's just Star Wars. He's got a screen. We don't need to use that right now. It's just it's just Star Wars, and he's doing 300 Throwback Thursday. No big deal, right? I mean, no big deal. I mean, it's just that one scene. It's from the original cut where Han shot first. And instead of the one that that was remade, and Greedo shot first, so this is just the original cut. Han shot first. The original cut that Han shot first. Original Snyder cut. The original director's cut that Zack shot first. No Retreat, No Surrender, A New Hope. Oh, for the love of God, release the Snyder Cut already!